Tom, thank you for joining me for this session of NAIOP Speaking in Real Estate. I have a couple questions, and hopefully we'll just have a good conversation about what's going on in our industry.
Sounds great. I actually believe NAIOP plays a very critical and instrumental role in our community, not only from an education and networking standpoint, which is good, but the real critical role, I think, is in helping to represent us in a political manner. It's the cheapest form of lobbying for our broader industry that one can get and invest in. And the issues that NAIOP is focused on, whether it be housing affordability, whether it be infrastructure investment, environmental regulations related to groundwater discharge issues, or looking at the new building code changes that create various burdens on building owners. These are critical issues that really cost us a lot of money.
You mentioned the issue of affordable housing, which I think is on everyone's mind as one of those really critical needs for Boston and the Boston area to continue to grow.
I think there's a number of solutions or policies that can help get us to having both more housing production as well as maintenance of certain levels or types of neighborhoods that are affordable housing. A key issue right now in the production of housing is union construction. Costs can be significantly greater than merit or open shop construction. And I think particularly for smaller projects, call it 150 units or less, that it would be terrific if there could be a policy that might say, we're going to allow that development to happen utilizing open shop to try to produce more affordable housing. If we could build 4,000 to 8,000 more student housing beds where there's clearly demand, that takes the pressure off of those neighborhoods and makes housing available for others. Construction costs and delivery schedules are really challenging. Very busy market. I think we're doing close to 3 times the construction volume today than we were 3 years ago. The labor market has not increased that much to absorb that.
Right.
Whether it be technology, whether it be sustainability issues or something like that. What are the 2 or 3 things that you would look at and say, this worries you a little bit about? What are the design assumptions that we're currently building into projects that we should be thinking about differently?
We will eventually become much more modular in our construction methodology. We will build much more in an environmentally sustainable way as a result of that. The quality will be higher. The speed to market will be greater, consistency will be there, and we will do so in a way that is a much more collaborative environment between the product manufacturers and the designers and those who build it and those who buy it. The challenge that we have is finding the atmosphere from a political and a financial point of view to allow that to happen. And that's one of the things that we see as a real opportunity and still a challenge. Tom, I think it's really interesting as we look to the future to try to understand better what a shared economy is all about. We see it in the workplace, and we see it obviously also in Uber and Hubway and those other sorts of industries. What do you see in the office space environment that would give you some vision as to how we should be thinking about the office space in the future?
The issue of having prepared space ready to go, that you can cancel your lease when you want to. It's a really important part of what I think is becoming the eco-structure of office space leasing. And the implications to it are pretty significant. Even if you look at when Apple was relocating an office operation here from the West Coast, they housed themselves at CIC, I believe, for 18 months at a pretty significant space. So it's a really interesting phenomenon. And obviously that's leading to open space, collaboration, flexibility, work environment that encourages social interaction, a variety of those items. What we're seeing, and particularly comparative to maybe 10 to 15 years ago, is perhaps as much as 30% less space allocation per employee.
Certainly.
Urbanization is going to continue. But I also believe that the suburbs are not dead. And in fact, I wouldn't even be surprised as this generation of millennials gets older and locates to school systems or outlying areas where they're looking for more real estate and outdoor area, that you'll see a revival of the suburbs. But in all cases, it's going to be around how do you create amenitization of live, work, and play. Quality environments where people want to go to work, they want to live, it's convenient. And I think that's going to happen both suburbs and in the urban areas.
Well, you guys have a terrific company and had great success. I wish you continued success.
Thanks very much.